weekend. You don't want to miss the Dark Angel.
All right, guys, we are going to talk about WWE NXT for this week as we prepare for NXT Battleground here at the Red Carpet Ring.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys. We're here to talk about WWE NXT Battleground matches setup. We're going to talk about this week's episode for NXT. You guys get the license as we come into the Red Carpet Ring. We're going to go over the show, stuff I liked about the show, the main highlights, go over grading, and we'll cover next week's episode of NXT. Now, for NXT, what was advertised for this particular week was a lot of stuff going on. We had a contract signed between Trick Williams and TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. We had a match of Tony D'Angelo versus Wes Lee and NXT Champion Femi one-on-one in action versus Charlie Dempsey of No Catch Quarter Crew. But let's start with the beginning of the show. Now, we had Miles Bourne to come out in a great promo, talking about how he won the number one contendership to the NXT Championship of battling Femi. He talked about his speech impediment. He said he is partially deaf. He said one thing I loved about his promo. He said, "Don't judge me by my disability, judge me by my ability." And it really gained him on. Ethan Page, of course, came out, talked trash. And we had a one-on-one match with Charlie Dempsey versus Femi. Great match. I love the technical style. Charlie Dempsey reminds me a lot of his father, William Regal. But other than that, Femi did what he had to do as usual. He is the ruler for a reason, NXT champion. He defeated Charlie Dempsey in a one-on-one match. But great way to kick off the show. Let's go on to the next part of the show of NXT here. All right, let's talk about the next match on the card. We had Tony D'Angelo. He goes one-on-one against Wes Lee. Tony D'Angelo, this stemmed up from last week when Wes Lee was talking crap about Tony D'Angelo, about losing the family. This was a good, solid match. However, the turning point in this particular match is when Shannon Stacks came on Titantron, taunted Tony D'Angelo, distracted him. That caused Wes Lee to gain the pinfall victory over Tony D. Then later on, Tony D'Angelo saw Stacks outside and met up, and Stacks attacked Tony D'Angelo. Great story there, but let's continue on to the next part. We had Tatum Paxley. She came out. She was, Gigi Dolan, Shotzi got released. She going to a great storyline saying, "I lost everyone. Everyone betrayed me." She was jealous of the newfound friendship of Thea Hale and Carmen Petrovic. So they had a good match. Both of these women, they definitely went all out. But it ended with Thea Hale winning by disqualification. I feel like this story is going to continue on, but great match by Thea Hale and Tatum. Now, we had the main event here. We had tag team action. We had Stephanie Walker, NXT Women's Champion, and Jordan Grace, number one contender to the title, against Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, and JC Jane. JC Jane and Fallon Henley, they had great teamwork. They worked very well against Stephanie and also Jordan. Jordan, she stated in a promo early that night she was going to protect her investment in the name of Stephanie Walker, heading to their match at Battleground, stating that nothing's going to happen to Stephanie. She's going to be 100%. Great promo. Stephanie said, "I'm not your investment." Meanwhile, it was one point in the match where they was going to get Stephanie. Jordan took the fall for Stephanie. This was a great match, but at the end of the day, it was Jordan and Stephanie that stood tall. They raised Stephanie, hand raised by Jordan. Jordan staring at her championship. But I'll go over the rating of the show. This was a great show, guys. 5 out of 5. NXT, like I said before, and I'll say it again, NXT has always continued to build characters and storylines again and again. When one story ends, a new one begins. Great stuff there. But let's talk about what's going to go on for next week for NXT. Now, NXT, we do have Joe Hendry in concert, and Trick Williams has a rap performance. We do have a triple threat match. We have Super Sean Legacy from Evolve, Javon Evans and Ashanti Adonis. Number one contender gets an opportunity at Ricky Stark's NXT North American title. And then we also have here Zarya versus Kalani Jordan once again. And whoever wins will get an opportunity at Sol Ruka's NXT Women's North American Championship. A lot of stories going on for NXT. They're prepared for Battleground. Battleground will be one day after Saturday night's main event, May 25th. But like I said, despite a great, amazing show, we're going to talk about things that I liked and did not like about NXT. We'll go over what I didn't like first. NXT is like Jacob Fatu, all gas, no breaks. But we're going to talk about the break on what I did not like about the show, because it's one thing I did not like about it. That was kind of irritating, so got to get in there. But one thing I do want to say, NXT, they have a pool of people from everywhere, and that's just NXT. You got Evolving, you got the LFG. But I'm going to go over one thing I still do not like on NXT. And I stated this last week, Chase U is reborn. I don't like this Chase U. I think this Chase U, this second coming of Chase U, is irritating. It's going to be boring, and I don't think it's going to be like the original. Now, you got this tag team, these guys here. I just don't see this going anywhere. I don't see it. I'm not feeling it. I really hope this is short-lived. I hope they don't do this for long, because I think they're going to run this whole Chase U storylines into the ground. But other than that, that's the only thing I didn't like about this particular episode. But however, I will go into what I did like about this week's episode of NXT. NXT, like I said, continues to build. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, particularly NXT, they are definitely prepared for Battleground. For Battleground. And I want to say about Battleground is always going to be setting up for the whole summer. But let's talk about what happened on this week's episode of NXT I did like. I like here the whole contract signing for Trick Williams and Joe Hendry. This is groundbreaking. We're going to have a TNA World Championship defended. I like the quotes that said it. You know, Trick said, you need to realize, Joe Hendry, you're online sensation. I like Joe Hendry. He definitely said some good things. These men are ready to fight it out. They were once tag team partners, and now they're going to fight against each other. Joe Hendry's been on NXT. Trick Williams been on TNA. Great story building. I do like that a lot. And another thing I did like as well, besides the contract signing, the tag team match. I love the teamwork of Fatal Influence. Despite them having some issues, we could tease it's going to be a split going on. But JC Jane and Fallon Henley worked very well against Jordan and Stephanie. They were very close to beating this team on NXT's episode. Very close. But I love the whole thing that was going on. So other than that, though, it was good. It was a good, very good show. But other than that, though, guys, that's what it come down to. We come down to NXT Battleground matches set up. They're preparing for Battleground. And I will do a preview of matches, who's going to be the winners and such. But you guys let me know, what did you think of NXT Battleground, this matches set up this week? We prepared for it. Very good NXT. But other than that, check out the content here. Click down the video for a red carpet ring. Until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's OUT.